You're listening to Wanna Coffee with Kai Alicia.
And Adriana.
Talking
Random.
sensible
Shit.
Entanglement.
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 God, this is like the second time I heard it. I heard this word before. And the first time I heard it, before what we're going to talk about, was like this Oscar Wilde play. So, it's like a really...
It's an archaic word. I had to look it up just to make sure. I was like, wait a minute. Is that even a word? Entanglement? I guess also, too, the way Jada said it, I was just like, how can you get away with that?
Yeah.
How can you get away with saying that, which doesn't even sound like it's relevant to the conversation?
Yes.
And use it as it and not highlight the fact that you just had an entanglement.
Yes, I'm sure. Like, she look it up in the dictionary. Like, okay, let me see the way that I am actually saying what I'm saying, but it's a different word and no one knows it and sounds better.
Yeah,
like pretty much she was saying what it was, but in a better way.
In a much better way.
Yeah. So yeah, kudos to her. It sounds like ambiguous.
It does.
Oh, that sounds like ambiguous. But
yes,
is that a real word? It could be.
Oh God, I'm like, what in the archaic language is this shit? Fucking, oh God. But anyway, that's all that everyone can talk about. And I know we had something else scheduled for today, but I really feel like this needs to be talked about. For many reasons, but ultimately, one of them being, what do we think about this?
Yeah.
And why are we choosing to talk about it?
I think we're choosing it because, everything has been so political, like everywhere before. And this is something that I will say everyone has an opinion. And I can say it's like a mild topic because everyone loves them. Like no one is going to think judge really harshly because... Who doesn't love Will Smith?
Everyone loves Will Smith.
He's so lovable. And she's so cool. Like, they're the perfect couple. For me, they still are.
They are. But I have this theory. I really feel like they are villainizing Jada Pinkett.
Oh, yes.
And everyone's still forever loving Will Smith. Granted, Jada Pinkett was the one in the entanglement, and that's what I will call it because she
call it like
she
that.
calls it that. So it's like that's their relationship. That's what they're choosing to call it. But they're vilifying her, and it's like I wonder if they're vilifying her because she's got the appearance of this strong, stoic woman, and her feet. Jada Pinkett's features are very angular.
Oh, yes.
And already very strong.
Okay, let's call it she has a resting bitch face.
She does.
So it doesn't matter that she's the sweetest person, which she is. Like, if you listen to her, she's sweet. She's really nice. Like, you would like to go to her and start
have a coffee.
Yeah, have a coffee with her. But yeah, she has that appearance and that doesn't help. And the fact that she is assertive. That is something that I noticed. I really like her. Mm-hmm. She's super assertive. She is polite. She is not trying to be deceitful. Like, if you watch the video, she's just saying things in the most realistic way possible. But she's being nice about it. She's being human. She's really that's the vibe that she has. She's really human, and maybe that's why people there are saying maybe she should be I cheated on you, trying to blame herself and still feeling some guilt and being remorseful all the time because that happened. And how could you do it, especially to Will Smith? And you're a woman, you should be taking care of your family and you should be happy and blah blah blah.
I know.
Yes.
I know. I 100% agree with it. I feel like if she looked different and she spoke in a more remorseful way, one in which she was begging for forgiveness or something, I think she may be getting a much better response from the general public. But people are going to side with Will, I think, no matter what, because it's Will Smith. You know, he's like America's sweetheart. The world loves Will Smith. And, you know, I don't know if you know this, but she dated Tupac.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
She dated him. You know what I mean? Either she dated him or she was really close with him. Like, she's an amazing...
She's a badass.
Yeah, she's amazing. So I think she kind of has... She also I feel like she kind of has this edge about her, which for some people, especially in the general public, may be off-putting. Like, it's the same thing. Like, she's assertive and she knows who she is and where she stands on most things. And so it comes across as, like, too hard or something.
Yeah, I think that the society's like view on marriage is on a pedestal. Like, everyone knows their marriage is far from perfect. It is impossible. But they just want to look at it like that. They just don't want to see anything that will break that image. And when you see these things happen, and it happens in... And I really like that she was really candid about it. Like, she was honest, and she will be like, yeah, I did that. Yeah, this happened. Yes, I was feeling like this. People tend to judge and think like, who does she think she is? Like, why do you have to disrespect the sanctity of marriage and do that to your husband? What about your kids? And yeah, society judges you. It doesn't have to be like that.
Yeah, we do. We almost have a very conservative way of looking at marriage. And it's totally unfair because all of us have our own lives that we're living and marriage isn't perfect. And I think what is even harder is that we look to these people as like role models for our lives or something, or we expect them to be perfect. And we don't know who the fuck those people are. Like, we don't know them. We just watch them on TV. And the worst part of it all is that, like, she never stepped out of her marriage. Yeah. They were on a break. She was in...
like Friends.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. They were on a break, and they had made a decision that they were basically going to do whatever they wanted to do. And that's what they agreed on. And she, I mean, as it was said, she said, oh yeah, we were done. She said, we were done. And he goes, I thought we were done. So clearly there was some sort of misunderstanding there, it sounds like. But they both seem like they made this agreement to finalize what their marriage meant to them in the beginning. And they were doing separate things.
Exactly.
And so her stepping out of their marriage, I don't think is what happened. I really think that she was like, we're not together. I want to feel happy. I'm going to do what I want to do for me.
Yeah, she was feeling depressed. And this is not the first time someone has gotten like a rebound, like after breaking up. It's not the first time. No, but I think that what causes the more shock and what people cannot wrap their head about it is like, this didn't have like a crappy ending. It didn't have like they broke up and this messy divorce and blah blah blah, or it didn't have like like you see Will Smith is suffering, poor him, or blah 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 blah. No, what happened is they reconciled, they mended whatever they have to mend, and they're happy now. They're wondering like, why is this coming up like 5 years after all this happened? Because for then it was over, and you can see it like it was a little bit awkward when you see her talking. Like she was being really truthful and saying like she was feeling. You could look at him and he was like, he had this face like, why are we reliving this? Like, I'm over it.
Yeah,
but still, like at the end they were laughing about it, and I think that's what people will say like, what?
Yeah, you're right. The ending was really something else. And I remember someone writing a Facebook post about this and saying like, I thought it was the most fucked up thing that they like pounded each other and said bad marriage for life. And it's like, if you watched Bad Boys for Life, that was the line that they used, Bad Boys for Life. Yeah. So it was obviously a joke between the two of them and a play on words.
They were laughing. They were like, you know, like they were like shaking hands. And
And they, have some kind of personal agreement, one in which obviously many people do not understand. I'm not saying I understand that, but I am saying, like, I don't know them. So it's like, here they were willing to tell all about their, basically her not infidelities, but her entanglement, excuse me, because it's not an infidelity, and here I am still calling it that. But I think it was sad. What was sad for me was to see Will look humiliated.
Yes, he looked uncomfortable.
He did.
He looked like, what am I doing here? He was hurt. But at the same time, he looks like a doting husband. Because at the same time, you can see, like, I'm doing this sacrifice. This is a sacrifice for me, but I'm doing it for you.
Yeah.
So you can have
your moment.
Your moment, exactly. And you can express what you need to say, and you can explain the situation. If not, I wouldn't say, like, he wouldn't have done it if he wouldn't have felt it. Yeah, so I think that
he was a man.
He was a man. He was showing up for his wife.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't necessary, but if they felt that it has to be done, so good for them. And what I really like about her, and that will be an example for everyone. Like, she had a situation. I don't know if she regrets it, but she feels that it was not like not the right thing to do, but the most appropriate thing to do. But she overcame it. She fixed what she had to fix. She moved on with her life. And she's, again, committed to him.
I agree with that, too. I think that the only reason why she probably came out with this is because the guy that she had this entanglement with, was a younger man. And a younger man who has obviously had a hard time dealing with mental health and drug addiction. So it looks really bad on her part to have been accused of cheating, having been accused of cheating on Will Smith with a younger man who had addiction problems.
Yeah, it doesn't look right.
No. So it's like, if I were her, that at least, like, I need for the world to know that, like, the way this came about was not how people think it came about, even though it does look suspect. Because in my opinion, hell yeah, he's a younger dude, good for her. But secondly, she had this entanglement when he was most vulnerable. And that is just inappropriate, on so many levels. If she was a man and the roles were reversed, gender roles were reversed, I think she would be dragged.
Oh yes, she would have been eaten alive.
Yeah. Having taken advantage of this poor, unfortunate soul. Oh God, I love something on the stove.
I like how they not explain, but like how they saw the view of marriage. And I think it is refreshing that they have done it in that way. People, they're going to have their doubts, and and hopefully things like that don't happen, like having a breakup and then you have to do some stuff and then reconciliate, and which is good and all that. But that happens, and this shows that you can forgive, and if you're feeling good about it, we're not here to
judge it.
To judge, yes. I would say that the whole situation it's not a mess. It's just like it happened. Here we are. We're seeing the end before we knew the beginning. So why are we judging?
It's so easy for us to judge, I think, too. It's so easy for us to judge because we're like, well, they're not perfect, and well, it's not me. Thank God. You know what I mean? Yes. So you judge. So you judge because you feel either like you've grown up with them and known them, or you judge because you're like, that's so far away from me, and I was really happy to see a couple resolve in a positive way, because I don't know if I'd be able to come out of that and be like, yes, I want to continue this relationship. Whether
I forgive you.
Yes. Yeah. Like, even if I was Jada, you have to wonder if Will has done anything
That's
funny,
right.
or because it takes two to tango. And I'm not saying that, what she did was right necessarily, but that's for her to determine. But I am saying that, like, I do think that Will has done his own stuff, and we may never know those things, or maybe one day we will, but that's for us. That's not for us. And in the clip, she mentioned, she goes, she said something like, "Oh, you haven't done stuff to me," or like, "You think you can get me back?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, that's what it's about for me. It's about that. It's about getting you back. Or it's about revenge, or something." And it was this whole like push and
pull. Yes. And
I just had to think. I just thought like,
something had happened. So like, yes, the man is not perfect, and obviously like, he's like a super famous actor, good looking
rapper, philanthropist,
so much money. Of course you're going to have temptation, like you're more tempted than anyone in that circle. But if you have either if it is a sinner or a saint, we will never know. But the fact that they're together, means that they will know their own situation and say this is worth it. Hopefully it will last. It will last, and it will be good, and they will focus on something
on
else.
their future.
And they're really, really kind of strange kids.
Yes, their kids are totally
Could
strange.
you imagine Jada and
Willow?
Yeah, Willow,
and
like
Trey. I feel for them.
Yeah,
that must be so awkward.
Like teenagers watching their parents like.
That's so weird.
Yeah, like that's so lame. I don't know if they say lame anymore, but yeah, that will be my point of view. If my parents will have done all that, yeah, I would say kudos to them for showing maturity, like a united front. Yeah. For me, it didn't look, fabricated, or it didn't look like fake.
I also think it's interesting that this has taken up so much of our news coverage in the world. Like, this all of a sudden is the focus of most people. Like, everyone's talking about this. It's as if, like, the number of COVID cases aren't rising. There isn't a war in Yemen.
Kanye just dropped
from the 2020 election. There's so much shit. The BLM movement. There's Breonna Taylor's killers have still not been charged yet or indicted or nothing. They're still working. They're still roaming the streets. Like, it's like life has stopped. As if like, why?
The world needs
relief.
Something light. This is like, actually, all in all, this is a happy ending. Like, when I saw it last week, it's like, okay, so many artists and famous people, they have been dying this week. So many people. I was like, I can count like 10.
Who's died?
John Travolta's.
Oh, his wife.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Glee girl.
The Glee girl, Naya Rivera.
Yeah.
Holy shit, yes.
So many people like, okay, maybe not that famous, but they were famous. Like, you see death all the time, and now you see this, and it's like, no, this will be a guilty pleasure, but I'll just...
finally something else.
Yes. So I think people, they're yearning for something different and something that is not that bad after all. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's true. I don't know. I just feel like this is like the media trying to distract us right now from like the world blowing up. Just the world just like dissolving. I mean, like, my friend who lives in China, I think I told you I worked for that global firm, that global tech firm. And she messaged me because she works for this company, Informatica, which obviously their base is in America. They have made all the Chinese employees redundant, and they have closed Informatica indefinitely.
Wow.
It was just like, they just came in.
This is an American company in China.
This is an American company in China. And it's like, if that doesn't say something is about to pop off, Hong Kong right now.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean?
They're under the wall now.
Oh my God. There's so many things happening. And it's like, this is what's going on?
Yeah, like what I've heard is like all the big companies that have operations in China, they will be moving to India because China is now the enemy. Like that is like another Cold War.
This is crazy.
Coming on. And
anyway, if I were Jada, I would definitely choose a younger man to, have an entanglement with while I was on a break with my husband if I wanted to feel happy.
And alive.
I
want to feel anything.
You know what I mean? Gosh, bring all the youth. You know what I mean? I want to feel young and likable and loved. And, sometimes I think about, like, how it must suck because she's so beautiful. She's so talented.
Thank you. I was thinking the same thing. Like, how bad could have she felt? Because she's a person that looks so self-confident. Like...
So self-assured.
Yes. And for her to feel bad...
Things must have been really, really bad.
Yes.
But she has a career, and she had a career. Like, she was... I don't know if you knew this, but she was like a rock star.
Really?
I never heard any of her music, but she had like a metal band. You know what I mean? And she's got a huge acting career. She was on Gotham. Is Gotham?
Yes. Oh, I love her in Gotham. She was like, kicking ass.
Was she?
It's really, really good the role she plays.
So, but she's done so much, and she constantly has to live in her husband's shadow, even if the shit she does is amazing.
Yes.
And that must blow.
Yeah, and she looks like she has a stronger personality than Will. She looks like she's like, if I wouldn't be with him, I would be doing my own thing, and I would be known for that. Yeah, and not for my husband.
And I met her at a premiere here in Australia for her girls trip movie, and she's exactly how she reads on Red Table, her Red Table Talk. She's so poised, well-mannered, well-spoken, very smart, very on the cutting edge of everything. Like, she's very fresh about her opinions. They're like just sounded, sound, and she's a remarkable personality. But there is something about her that feels like something is tough. You know what I mean? Like, she's kind of got it tough in this weird way. Like, something feels like she's dealing with something. But I also feel that way about Will. I feel like he's dealing with something too.
Yes.
And we're so quick to judge that relationship.
Yeah.
And
who would like to talk in public about the relationship? I wouldn't like to be in the spotlight and say, hey, I did this, which is like, ooh, this is my husband, which I made the transgression. This is like, I'm pretty much hurting him again.
here we go.
Here we go.